What's up, people? So what we have today is the Bug Out Gear 3-day pass pack. Nowadays, Bug Out Gear has been renamed to Sandpiper of California, but the model of the pack has remained unchanged. So I figured I'd make a video on it. So I picked this up recently, a really good deal, 20 euros in excellent condition, very lightly used. And I've been seeing a few of them around, going all the way up to 80 euros. I wouldn't pay 80 euros for this, but for 20 euros, definitely. Plus in UCP, so hell yeah. Because that can potentially turn out into a different project. And, when I dye this, it could look even cooler. But yeah, I guess, let's just take a quick look at this pack and see what the features are, etc., and give you my 2 cents on what I think about this pack, at least just first impressions. An overview, by no means a review. So, starting with this front pouch, it's got 6x4 pals webbing. I don't think I'd add anything to it just because had this pouch not been already incorporated in the pack, then I probably would have added something, provided the pals webbing was there. But seeing as already there is a pouch and it's quite generous, I don't think I'll be doing anything to that. But yeah, it's, as I mentioned, quite a generous pouch. Fit my whole hand in there, all kinds of objects. They've got some models I've seen have Velcro or something, whereas this just has this netting and this little slit in the material where you can put ID and, patches, what have you. So you get, access it from up here. And then it has another pocket going all the way down there and all the way to the bottom. Really nice and generous. So zipper pulls, a little on the cheap side, but they're in pristine condition, so I don't see why I should be replacing them anytime soon. Another nice pocket here, really nice, full of organizers. Let's see if I can do this with one hand, guys. Part of me, you know how it goes. There we go. Zippers are pretty smooth, by the way, guys. I'm opening this up with my hand, See if I can just help myself. There we go. So it's got, several organizers for, ID cards, whatever. Maybe coins, some change. Tissues, pens, the usual. Another sleeve here with a Velcro. Retainer of sorts. So yeah, just a neat little size pocket. It's fairly, it's not too deep, but it's deep enough to where your stuff is gonna fit in there. Plus it's got all this extra room down at the bottom here, guys. See if I can show you. There we go. So it's still pretty roomy like that. And then moving on to the next compartment. Let me pause this and just open it up. So there you have it. Even more organizers in this section here. We've got mesh, elastic pockets, We've got zippered sleeves here. Some more mesh with a zipper. Some more elastic pockets. Another pocket here, So it's full of little nice organizers for all kind of miscellaneous little bits and bobs. Really nice like that. I really like this feature about these Sandpiper of California, or in this case Bug Out Gear pack. But it is the same company, so it's just simply been renamed to Sandpiper of California, but the model of the pack has remained unchanged. So as you can see, that's the logo. Made in China, bugoutgear.com. There you go. Might scare some people that it's made in China, but guys, the overall construction is really nice. I'm liking it so far. You know, I would classify this as an average, as a good average pack. You know what I mean? Like, or an averagely good pack. Um, there's, it's not as good as some other, packs by other name brands, but it's definitely not a crap pack either. It's got this carabiner here already incorporated in the webbing of the pack. Interesting feature. I don't think I'll ever be using it, but looks cool. It's got the grab handle, decent grab handle, nicely reinforced. I really like that when they use a good thick piece of webbing and just stitch it over like so. It's really nice. It's got this what's it called? This tag here for the name, and phone number and what have you. I'll probably be getting rid of this, but yeah, overall, it's a pretty nice pack. I mean, the only thing about it, as you can see, guys, it has no frame, so the back has a life of its own. I may have to fix that with the usual cardboard, frame or stiffener, should I say. Just throw one in there, shape it nicely according to the shape of the pack, and then just slip it in here in what is, I believe, otherwise the hydration sleeve. It's got the the ports for that as well. Why can I not access? Oh, right, there it is. It's velcroed. But anyway, yeah, I can't really seem to be doing this with one hand, guys, but you get the point. See if I can quickly show you. Well, there's the port right there. It's underneath all this strip of velcro. And yeah, there is actually a decent amount of padding on the back. I really like the padding. It's thin, but it's nice. You know what I mean? Like, it's a decent bit of padding. I just wish that it had something, to stiffen the back with, so that it just doesn't flop. It doesn't crunch on itself like it is doing now. The shoulder pads now are really nice, Now I don't, concerning the material, guys, there's a bit of conflicting info online, because some say it's Cordura, some say it's not, and even on some other specs that I checked online, it mentioned some kind of poly something or other material, and then also Cordura. So I'm not entirely sure. It feels like Cordura, at least for the main kind of material of the pack. It doesn't feel like a crappy pack by any means. Like a polyester or whatever pack, but it might just be like 500D or 600 if I'm not mistaken. I think it was, because I think I read something like 600D poly something or other, and then 1000D Cordura on the same, on the same page where it mentioned the specs. So I'm not entirely sure, but overall I'd say the material is good. It definitely feels like Cordura. What do you guys think? I'm gonna say this is Cordura. And yeah, going back to the shoulder pads, they have the rubberized inner finish, which is really neat. I quite like that, actually. It's in excellent condition, And the shoulder pads, again, I mentioned in the other pack that I took a look at. I think it was the bug out pack, or bug out bag, also by Sandpiper of California. The shoulder pads were exactly the same kind of thickness and width. So I'd say bare minimum on that pack, which was far bigger than this pack. And on this pack, on the other hand, I'd say definitely it could have been more, but this is definitely enough. Like I've seen packs and I have packs with more padding, that are the same capacity, which is, by the way, guys, if I'm not mistaken, 37 liters. So we're looking at a 37-liter pack, standard kind of, assault pack style in terms of the literage and also, pretty much the design. But yeah, really nice overall, I'd say. Really nice overall, the quality. And then, yeah, of course, it's got the sternum strap. The straps are nicely stitched in here on the sides. It's got compression straps on the sides. Some people were mentioning how it would have been nice to see some PALS webbing here on the sides, but then it would have been, you wouldn't have been able to have the total clamshell opening like you have with the zipper here as it is, and maybe just throwing like a couple of rows. I guess that's all you would have really been able to do here. So I figured, I guess they just went a bit more minimalist, and just decided to go outwards in terms of accessorizing with more options, for storage as opposed to the sides of the pack. But overall, it's got a waist belt, pretty standard, nothing special. The padding, you know what I mean, but it has one. I'll probably end up taking this off just because I rarely use them with these style packs. Alright, it might just hang there, who cares. But overall, I'd say this is a good pack, guys. Just by looking at it, the general overall quality, I'm happy with it. I'm definitely happy with it. Plus, like I mentioned, this is an UCP, and I'm most likely going to dye this and have fun doing so at some point. So it could potentially look into something, turn into something a lot cooler as well in terms of the camouflage. A lot more, a lot more versatile like that. But overall, I guess this was just a quick overview on the pack. What did I forget to mention? The buckles. Now, the buckles are good quality too. They're not the standard ITW Nexus buckles, but they're definitely really sturdy, really hard. So good quality like that. I like that about this pack. Overall construction, the webbing, the fabric, it's just, I'm going to give it a good solid 7 out of 10, maybe even an 8 out of 10. Had this been, had something to stiffen the back of the pack with. But overall, I'd say it's a decent pack. There are other reviews out there, and I've saved them all in my playlist under packs. But as that's quite a long playlist, I'm sure if you just do a standard YouTube search, you'll see other reviews and, better, reviews, obviously more detailed than this quick overview. But overall, I'm going to give it a thumbs up, in terms of just quickly taking a look at this pack, what I think about it. And I can't wait to see what I can do about, the back here and potentially the camouflage in, in the future when I have a bit of time. It'd be cool to see if I can just dye this and turn this into something a bit more versatile overall, both for urban and, outdoor environments. But other than that, I hope you got something out of this quick overview of this pack. Like I mentioned, for 20 euros, it's definitely a steal. I was going to grab it. For 80, hell no, I wouldn't pay 80. I've seen these go all the way up to 80 euros, and I thought to myself, nah, that might be a bit much. But I would say 40 to 50, up to 40 to 50, I would have definitely paid up to 40. 50 maybe pushing it. But still, for that price, definitely. 20 plus 5 in shipping, so 25 it cost me, definitely. So I definitely felt like picking this up because I've been looking for a pack that had features like this, the organization, separate sections, but at the same time be just quite a lightweight pack that I can just take around and use for whatever environment, not necessarily for hiking or anything like that. It's just I picked this up with the intent to use it around the city, if anything. So now it's just a question of, do I want to walk around with UCP all over my back, or do I want to dye this and make it a bit more of a gray man, kind of pack that could blend in a bit of everything. Anyway, what can I say, guys? I hope you got something out of this quick video. Overall impressions, I'm happy with this pack, and I can't wait to pimp this out. But that's for another episode. So until then, thanks as always for watching. Hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you on the next one.